Hi everybody, my name's George Gerring. It's very nice to meet you all virtually, if not in person. So I'm the lead for the Water Hub at the Environment Agency. Today I'm going to talk to you about why I think we are right at the forefront of the rise of the environmental entrepreneur, what that means for us in the environment sector and the opportunities it presents really. So, in terms of my story, for the past 3 years, I've been seconded to Durham University, working pretty exclusively with small businesses, research institutes, to see really how we can add economic value by working together on environmental challenges. Really, the insight I have for why I think we're at the age of the environmental entrepreneur is based upon the work I've done over those last 3 years. What do I mean by environmental entrepreneur? I think the difference for me is, unlike a traditional entrepreneur, this is more about the role as a broker, storyteller, collaborator, optimist. And the return on investment is very much about a social and environmental return, not just a profit line. So, okay, I think I've got some insight. I think it's the age of entrepreneur. Why now? Why is now such a good time? The key thing is the seven disruptors. This is taken from a World Economic Forum report. What is absolutely unique about at the moment is this shift in tectonic plates in terms of societal and technological innovation that we're facing at the moment. So scientists have identified 4 of the 9 Earth processes and systems, so climate change, loss of biosphere integrity, land system change, and altered chemistry of the globe are all at boundary levels in danger. While these challenges are urgent and unprecedented, they coincide with real unparalleled innovation and technological change, i.e. the 4th industrial revolution. Okay, great, but what does that mean for us? Well, the environment sector is probably the slowest to take that up. Traditionally, we have a long gestation period to adopt innovation, but the opportunities are huge. 50 billion global opportunity between now and 2022 in water markets, about 5 billion in challenge funding to meet those challenges head on. Coupled with the Industrial Revolution is the evidence for the growing change in sustainability and that trending, both amongst corporates, companies, as well as society at large, largely attributed to the uptake of sustainable development goals within businesses' bottom line, within the environmental profit and loss tools. So if we know that that's trending as well, what are the other important things? So a huge thing for this is human talent. It's huge technological change. Whilst we have that technological change, there's huge implications for skills and business model, but also environmental employers. So what do those future skills look like and how they lead us to the rise of the environmental entrepreneur? So this was published by the World Economic Forum. The critical thing here is we're seeing, less focus on technical skills and a lot more focus and desirability on these softer entrepreneurial skills. So how do we capitalize on that within the environment sector? The first thing I think is we all really need to acknowledge the need to be multilingual. By that, I mean really embracing the language of business and innovation. Natural and social capital are regularly used, return on investment, value proposition. We really need to understand what that means and not expect people to speak our language, but go to investors understanding the language they're talking. The second thing is creativity and innovation. That's a key talent, I think, for any environmental entrepreneur and what we're doing at the moment. So imagination, creativity, empathy, and innovation together equal that value creation. And I think our role is to articulate what that value is with an environmental sector perspective. An example of this within the Northeast region as a whole is Northumbrian Water's Innovation Festival. The key emphasis of that is adopting design principles, a year's work in 5 days. And the key outputs from that are making, creating, designing, prototyping, and testing, all with an emphasis on environmental products and services. Another key skill, I think, probably largely undervalued, is the communication and storytelling. So this is a Pulitzer Prize winner, Dan Fagan. His book's Tom's River. His interest stimulation for that was the fact that most people, when they talk about the environment, do so in a negative way. His approach was to embrace it around the story of resilience. In terms of the Northeast and what we're doing, so Word Nerds is a company who use natural language processing, essentially humanizing the river basin management plans. How do we get them more digestible? How do we get audiences to empathise with them and use them? That moves on. In order to do that, obviously, I guess, to a key thing, which is networking and collaboration. Hopefully you'll all recognise the image of the usual suspects there. That's deliberate in that we need to get outside of our comfort, our bubble of who we collaborate with, not just within our sector, but across other sectors. Example there of Venture Fest and Tees Valley in North East, where the focus is on innovation and collaboration. If you haven't been to it, highly recommend it. So all of this converging, clearly there's a need for us to adopt technology skills, but the critical thing for me here is being able to articulate and understand where the technologies can be applied. We don't need to be experts. There's plenty of those around. What we need to be able to do is be willing to look for the applications of those technologies where they add value to our everyday processes and delivery. And finally, I guess the growth of the knowledge economy. So what do I mean by that? Traditional methods of learning have been ripped up and thrown out. Part of that is influenced by COVID, but also it's this desire to learn business to business, peer to peer. And that's really something I think we can look to embrace in the environment sector, but also a potential area where we can create new services, advertise and generate new forms of income for us as an environmental entrepreneur. So all of this collectively means we're looking at new organizational models, moving forward from today into the future for how we work. I guess rather than climbing corporate ladders, we'll be moving horizontally, sort of lattice work, to make new collaborations with technologists, entrepreneurs, corporates to be able to add value. And the thing they all have in common is collaboration. And at the heart of that is really the opportunity to collaborate on challenges within the environment sector and collaborate with environmental professionals in a way we haven't done previously. And that really is why I feel we are right now at the rise and the age of the environmental entrepreneur. Thank you very much for listening, and please do contact me if you'd like to hear any more or for any opportunities to collaborate. Thank you very much.